And let me start by just getting your reaction to the president about to be on his way home to the White House after about 72 hours of treatment at Walter Reed.
Well, Lou, it's great to be with you. Thank you. It's terrific news, obviously, that the president is feeling better, that he's able to come home. This has been a tough couple of days as the entire country and much of the world has lifted the president and first lady up in prayer. I'm hopeful that he gets stronger. I was just texting with the president's team that was with him in Walter Reed. I told them, listen, we need him. We need him at full strength and healthy. And so I hope he feels better soon. And it reminds us just how dangerous this virus is that we're dealing with.
Absolutely, and it also reminds us what a leader he is. He is living exactly what he is asking Americans to do, and that is wide open and full tilt. And credit to him as usual. And credit to you for what you said in the hearing, if I may. I'm going to turn to your book here very quickly because it's fascinating, and we recommend it to the audience highly. But what you had to say to Brennan, if we could roll that for the audience, if you would, please.
This investigation of the president was corrupt. The FBI and the Department of Justice were politicized and weaponized. And in my opinion, there are only two possibilities: that you were deliberately corrupt or woefully incompetent. And I don't believe you were incompetent.
That is one of the most powerful statements Comey's ever heard, I believe. Senator, Comey, Brennan, Clapper, we know the whole bunch are a bunch of liars, and the radical Dems, they sold those lies to the American people, and they stole the 2018 midterm election, I believe. Your thoughts?
Well, look, I think you're right. I think they politicized the FBI. They politicized the Department of Justice. They politicized the CIA and intelligence. And it's one of the really most shameful legacies of the Obama-Biden administration. I think they all thought they'd get away with it. And they used, I mean, look, we have very, very powerful tools that we use to defend this nation from terrorists, that the FBI uses to go after criminals, and they used it instead as essentially their own personal hit squad to weaponize DNC Oppo research. And Comey was right in the middle of it. John Brennan, who you're focusing on, was right in the middle of it. And I think they thought they'd get away scot-free. And it has been, it's disgraceful and wrong. I'm an alumnus of the Department of Justice, and DOJ is meant to be nonpartisan. I don't want a Republican Department of Justice. I don't want a Republican FBI. I want a DOJ and FBI that follows the law and follows the Constitution regardless of party. And I think the damage that Comey and Brennan and the rest of them did deeply harmed the integrity of those institutions, and there's a lot of work to get out of it, and they need to be held accountable.
I think without being held accountable that we're going to see the political corruption of the DOJ and FBI continue in perpetuity, because there is no other solution that I see possible. Danchenko, we learned today from the White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, that Danchenko documents have been declassified by the president while he was at Walter Reed and will be released soon. Just further evidence of the fraud that was the Christopher Steele dossier that was apparently financed by Hillary Clinton's campaign and the DNC. Your thoughts as we see more coming to light?
And that's one of the things I questioned Comey about before the Senate Judiciary Committee is that he knew that the Steele dossier was political opposition research. He didn't care. He didn't inquire whether it was the DNC or Hillary Clinton that paid for it. He didn't tell the federal court either of those things. And that was dishonest, to give DNC Oppo research to the federal court and pretend that it was just impartial sources. That was dishonest. And we now know that there was significant intelligence that the primary subsource, the basis for the garbage Steele report. The Steele report was complete garbage. It was a hit job based on lies. The primary basis of that, the subsource, was an individual who the FBI had already investigated for being a Russian asset, for trying to recruit members of the Obama-Biden administration to engage in espionage for Russia. And the FBI didn't inform the court of that. They instead became part of this Russian operation and this DNC Hillary Clinton operation. And it was, you know, what I think was...
To your point.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
What I think was happening...
Well, to your point, will we ever see these people be held accountable? Will they go to prison? Will they be held accountable?
I very much hope so. I think Bill Barr is a good man. I think if anyone can lead the Department of Justice and demand accountability, it's Barr. But I got to say, it's frustrating. We're nearly 4 years in, and nobody's been prosecuted. Nobody's gone to jail. When I'm home in Texas, I hear all the time from people going, what in the heck is wrong that nobody is paying the price for it? I share that frustration, and I hope that DOJ moves and moves quickly to hold accountable everyone who broke the law, everyone who abused power, and sadly, it sure seems like there were a lot of them.
If he doesn't move forward before this election and bring this evidence that he does have to the American people, I will tell you, Senator, I'm going to urge as hard as I can this administration declassify all of that, because I want to know who the sources and methods are for the trash and the garbage and the filth that this Department of Justice and this FBI spewed out for the American people on behalf of Hillary Clinton.